Between the Zombies reveal trailer, the COD Next event, and straight up gameplay we got from other content creators, there is so much to cover about Modern Warfare Zombies, so let's not waste any more time. Jumping into the reveal trailer, you can see some typical zombie stuff, some nice mood and atmosphere building, but here we have these cysts. Now these cysts are part of strongholds, or new strongholds that we're getting that we'll see in the gameplay, but also this guy looks like a leaper from Dead Space just hanging out on the wall there, upside down, and also you could see on the ground there, that is a loot drop like from Outbreak, but with Ethereum crystals on it. This could be an in-universe explanation of how some of these loot crates get zombie-related stuff in them. But like I said, we'll see this sort of gameplay later. On the splash screen here, we have Call of Duty presents Modern Warfare Zombies. This is a fire logo. It looks excellent, but if you notice in the background, look at how this map is presented. This is a dark orangish purple overcast day, and then when the Modern Warfare Zombies logo comes across it, it becomes super dense full of that purple smoke. As we look into this gameplay, I really feel like Treyarch put a lot of time into the atmosphere of this map. Moving on to this next screen, it is kind of a tack map of what this zombie map is going to look like. We see 6 unique contracts, we see the different colors for the different world difficulty, a buy station, there's a stamina up logo, as well as all the squads on the map, which, as you can see, there are only squads of 3 players. Moving forward, we get a great overview of the big map. You can see it looks really blue, kind of normal-esque. This is on the outskirts of the map. We get some zombies. Again, big hordes of zombies here, which is pretty nice. And then we see this zombie have some armor get shattered. We do get the return of armored zombies. And of course, vehicle combat is back. We're hitting zombies with cars, which is always a good time. We get our Mimic, which looks beautiful in this engine. We see him grab this player, and it looks like he throws him, eats him, throws him back across the wall here. You can also take a look and see there's some drops on the ground there. They're not highlighted because there's no HUD here, but looks like ammo, grenades, all that sort of typical stuff. You can see this Mangler is also really beautiful and Modern Warfare-ified. And this shot is really quick, but I just want to point it out. These are teammates running with a whole horde of zombies. Hordes of zombies is just a huge focus, I think, this time, because I think it was a huge part of Outbreak that people didn't like. So we get some more glamour shots, and then we get this Juggernaut here, which could be an enemy, but also the voiceover says that there are allies. And as we'll see later, we do get a chance to use this Juggernaut as a kill streak, and the way this is edited makes it look like this Juggernaut is actually killing zombies, but I guess enemy Juggernauts can do that too. So then we land near this egg crystal statue slash thing, whatever this is. We don't see this in the gameplay, at least I don't think, moving forward, so this is an interesting location, an interesting thing to focus on. It looks like it explodes in this next shot right here, so whatever that could be, it looks like there's blood and guts in it too. It looks like an extinction egg, to be honest. And then this next shot, we see this little tank thing. This is a side objective we'll see later, but also this thing, we have that ethereal orb in the back there. That's part of that side quest, and we get a beautiful look at these new hellhounds. This dog, to me, looks a lot like Samantha's, Cold War Samantha's new dog. Not so fluffy. So I wonder if that's going to have any story implications. Here we see the first little storm area, or the circle area, or whatever this is called, the Aether Storm. You can see every single zombie in it has that disciple, like a red mist effect around their face, making them stronger and probably more dangerous. You can see they have huge amounts of armor on there. It's crazy. Here we get our first shot of the new wonder weapon, the Scorcher. It looks like a huge like DIE slash thunder gun slash, paralyzer, people have been saying. It looks really sick. And then you can actually see it blows zombies away when you use the alternate fire, which is to fling yourself way up into the air, as you saw right there. And once again, they put in several shots of these massive amounts of zombies right here, as if they're trying to subliminally message to us, hey, this mode has a ton of zombies in it. Look at all these hordes. Let's hope that's true. We see somebody down using a pistol, some normal stuff. We get another tac map view, which has another maybe 4 or 5 different contracts that we can complete around the map. And you can see we're progressing more towards the center of the map in this trailer here. And of course, the perk machines are back. And it's not just the Wonder Fizz either, like it was an Outbreak, it's the actual perk machines and Cold War perk machines. And they look really good here in the Modern Warfare engine. I'm really excited to see this in game. We got a Disciple that's also been Modern Warfare-ified. It looks really cool in this modern getup. I really like it. And of course, we have the classic zombie scream. We get to see our Pack-a-Punch camo. I believe this is the Pack-a-Punch level 2 camo right here. We get a monkey bomb. We get a little peek at the Abomination here, or the Mega Abomination. And it looks like it has straight up Nova Crawlers hanging from its chest. And from the gameplay, we hear that this also sends out these Nova Crawlers when you are inaccessible to it. Moving past the Abomination, we have this sick Aether Crystal bike. Now, I don't know if this is a side quest, or if it's a reward, or if it's a bundle. It could be a bundle, honestly, but I think it might be a side quest, because in this shot you could see him like activate this Ethereum crystal like shatter that we had back in the outbreak mode. That pulse of energy from the Ethereum looks really cool. And if you look at the front there, look at the front of that bike, it almost looks like a tentacle monster type thing. It has like horns. You see that up there? What is that? Now we get to the mystery box. And the mystery box, if we slow it down here, you can see these first two weapons, the Holger and like the UMP, they're just like PNGs and they look so flat and they don't look great at all. And then it just jump cuts to a ray gun and it looks so much more realistic. As I don't know if they're placeholders, but those PNGs look really, really flat. We get to see the ray gun in action. We get to see the shotgun with this camo. This camo is actually the tier 3 Pack-a-Punch camo that we'll see later. But then we get to see more of the Mega Abomination, and we have, and actually the Mega Abomination makes a really distinct Margwa sound here at the end. And that tier 3 Pack-a-Punch camo is animated, which is really cool. And in the post-credit scene, we have another cool shot of the Pack-a-Punch camo. Oh, and a giant worm. Slowing it down, this looks absolutely insane. The teeth, it looks like its head is really protected. You see them landing some shots on the skull. It looks like it has an exoskeleton. I'll bet you anything it has to open its mouth, and you have to do something to open its mouth. It's surrounded, it's glowing in this purple aura like that we've seen. It just, this is the most interesting thing to me right now about this trailer. And the thing is, across this, the rest of this whole event and the rest of all of this gameplay, nobody mentions this creature by name. They hint to it as like the big center boss, big boss fight, whatever, but they don't tell us how to do it. They don't tell us what we need to do to get there. This is what I'm guessing is the end of the main quest storyline of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, at least for Season 0 or whatever. So moving on to the COD Next discussion, we have Kevin Drew and Miles Leslie. They are the Associate Design Director and Associate Creative Director, respectively, at Treyarch. And the very first thing they talk about are Easter eggs.
Well, then what should we expect?
So if you were paying attention to that trailer you just saw for the first time,
okay,
maybe at the end, if you go back and scrub it, you might see something that you'll see that's kind of big. Now, I don't want to give it all away. There's a lot to discover in this open world Zombies.
To me, this means that the worm is clearly designed to be our first story-focused main quest type of mission. There's no other way I can read into that. That's just what that seems to me. It seems to me like our big main focus of this first outbreak of Operation Whatever is to kill this big giant worm, and then we will get new enemies, new quests, new side missions, and new storyline stuff after we do that. Further on into the conversation, they mentioned solo play.
Absolutely. So it's 24 players total. You can go in solo, you can go in with your squad. But what's awesome is that you're all on the same team trying to do the same thing. So when you're out in the world, you'll run into other squads or other players. You can make a decision in that moment to like combine and form a super squad.
Oh, so you can form a super team.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Like in-game form a super team.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
And that's 8 squads of 3. You can group up together. You can go lone wolf it. I don't know if I'd recommend that, guys, from what I've
I
seen.
mean,
Experienced players.
If you want a challenge, you can go in solo, but it is a lot of fun to grab some friends, form those super squads.
It really just sounds like this mode is made for co-op. If you've played DMZ, which I would recommend all of you, if you're watching this video, please go play DMZ. Everything about this game mode just makes 1,000 times more sense if you've played DMZ as well as Outbreak. But anyway, they also mentioned this is actually going to be 8 squads of 3 players. This is very different than what we've been hearing about 6 squads of 4, 4 squads of 6, whatever. This is 8 squads of 3, which I very much like. That's a little bit smaller, a little bit more intimate, but being able to pair up and do this stuff, I think that's going to be really fun for people's flexibility and spreading players out throughout the map, which is really good. Storyline-wise, this takes place between Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2 2022 for some reason, maybe just to get the villain in there, who knows. They mentioned that he survived because there was a puddle of water or a bunch of water at the bottom. Moving on into what they say is the first storyline mission of Modern Warfare Zombies. So I think this is going to be the type of missions like in DMZ where it's a story focused, you're going to get a narrative, but it's still kind of just a basic gameplay progression thing. We see a lot of players fighting a lot of zombies. We don't know if this is friendly or enemy AI, because there's weirdly no HUD in this footage in particular. Again, though, it looks like they're focusing on hordes of zombies. You can see there's a supply drop or a loot crate right there. There's some Ethereum or Essence canister on the ground, that little tiny one in the right-hand side there with some drops. And this whole thing is kind of cut really weird. Like, it's almost like they're trying to go for the sake of time and just kind of speed through this whole mission, but I feel like it's just so weirdly cut where they kill one zombie, cut, kill one zombie, cut, approach this thing, then cut. It feels so weird. You see him shooting AI, you see him talking to these people, you see him activating this UAV tower type thing, And also, if I slow this down here, because look at this horde of zombies that's just kind of piling up in this corner right here. This whole section and this whole gameplay thing feel very janky. I get the feeling this is a very early build of zombies. Now, I don't know if that makes me nervous or I shouldn't worry about it because it's probably better by now, but I don't know, it's kind of weird. Now, this is an actual in-game person that we get to escort, which is really cool. I hope this is a consistent thing throughout the map. Also, it looks like she's in the sub base from Modern Warfare 2, that multiplayer map. It looks like they semi-fight back against the horde, kind of like a Klaus or a Civil Protector. They can protect themselves at least a little bit. And once again, once we're on the roof extracting with this woman, it looks like there are a ton of zombies compared to Outbreak, and they're definitely swarming her. That definitely would have failed the game. And then we cut to them exfilling. Now, I don't know if you need to exfil with her or if that's just a mission that you can go get her out of there and then you can continue on. Who knows? They say that those are going to be some story missions in there, some narrative focused stuff that you get some story out of, but if you don't want to do that, you could just ignore them and interact with the core gameplay too. And then here they show us the TAC map here. You can see clearly the 3 different levels that they're going for. The outer one is the easiest level. The orange section in the middle there, that's going to be level 2, and then the red section is going to be level 3. Going towards the center, you get more rewards, but you also get more difficult enemies. They mentioned buy stations from DMZ or Warzone. We'll definitely see that in the gameplay. Lots of ways to gear up and get rewards. We get some glory shots of the loot crates, the perk machines, and the wall weapons. We actually get weapon rarities back. After Vanguard, I didn't think they'd be going back to it, but it looks like they are, which is, I don't know, I kind of like that. They talk more about this wonder weapon, which I think is great. It can take out hordes of zombies, and I just love the design of this thing. It looks like a Modern Warfare wonder weapon to me. That Ethereum in there, the purple, the fact that it has a charge up time and then it takes, maybe just because it's purple, I like it, but also it has an alternate fire mode, which I think is really the genius of this. If you hold the alternate fire, you will launch up into the air, and look at how high you launch yourself up. That is huge. One of Outbreak's biggest complaints, at least by me, was the fact that it took forever to traverse. Could you imagine having this wonder weapon? Okay, I got this out of the box. I'm going to launch myself up and go straight over there and deal with the higher level rewards, or I'm going to go to this objective over here just with your wonder weapon. Or you can extract this wonder weapon, or I think a crate that has the wonder weapon, take it in on launch, and just right from the get-go, launch yourself up and head on directly to the center because you're already geared up because it's an extraction shooter. I think this is a wonder weapon that we could have never ever seen anywhere else other than here, and I think it's the perfect utilization of this DMZ Outbreak type mode. It's really great. I love this idea. And they themselves, I just want to point out, they themselves say it melts hordes. So I will be holding you accountable to that, Treyarch, all right? They really focus on the extraction here. It's going to be a 45-minute cycle, or 45 minutes until the circle starts expanding and the zombies are going to get harder. We're going to get to see some gameplay of that circle as well. But there will be item persistence. You can bring out weapons, perks, pack-a-punch, ammo mods, wonder weapons, and weapon rarity upgrades in your loot stash externally. If you've played DMZ, which I recommend, play DMZ, you will understand what this means and how cool this is for a constant feedback loop. I am not really worried about that 60-minute timer. Moving on, they also mention secrets and Easter eggs. They say that there are a lot there.
I can't get into all of the secrets. I want to, but the team would kill me. There's a lot in there. But
we want people to find them.
We do want them to find it, but we have, again, taken advantage of this map. There's a lot there on day one for Discover. We love watching the community find these things. That is part of the fun. So we don't want to spoil any of it, but there's a lot in there, and we're already planning some fun stuff to come later as well.
Whatever that means. And they plan on adding more. Now, Noah has said that there's not really a main quest Easter egg, but with what we just heard from, the developers themselves and that giant worm, it feels like there's going to be a main story quest. So that main story quest, and we're getting into semantics here, but to me, that main story quest with that big boss, it's almost like a raid. It's almost like that big thing that I'm gonna beat the map, sort of like the Extinction type of linear storyline thing that you do to beat the map, and that to me fulfills the role of the main quest. Now, I, like many of you, are probably worried about the human AI soldiers and mixing them with zombies. Now, I'm still worried about that, mixing the two, but something that they said that kind of helped me alleviate that worry a little bit is the fact that you can take a horde of zombies and then lure them towards those enemy AIs, and the zombies will attack those AI soldiers, which is so much cooler than I thought it could be. And we see some cool gameplay of that in the gameplay portion here, which we're going to get to. But if you if you take a look at this, look, there's some big hordes in this shot, and you can see there's some jank in these animations here. You see some zombies just like teleporting down and kind of moving a little weird, walking straight up this barrier here that looks a little weird. But I mean, there's a lot of zombies, and yes, they are attacking those enemy AI soldiers. That looks so cool. The infighting feels so great, and it feels so immersive, just at least looking at it right here. I reserve the right to change my mind. This is a trailer designed to make the game look really good and all, but this, hey, it looks really good. But luckily, that is not all. We have pure gameplay from the content creators. They actually gave the same gameplay to everybody. I used Mr. Dalek JD, so you can see his little icon in the top right. Thank you, Dalek. I appreciate you. This is really clean footage, so thank you for uploading this. Let's take a look at this gameplay and speak generally here. This looks obviously like the Warzone HUD, Warzone armor plates and mechanics. We can have kill streaks. We've seen cluster strikes, sentry guns, precision strikes, and juggernauts, which is really cool. We'll get to that. It looks like most field upgrades, maybe all field upgrades, are going to be back from Cold War. You can see your points on the HUD, the world difficulties on the top left near the minimap, the timer of the world like DMZ is on the minimap there, and the minimap has what you would expect on it. The bottom right has your rarity color and up to 5 attachment slots, plus the pack-a-punch and the ammo mod slots, just like in Cold War. Strangely enough though, in this entire gameplay, I have never seen any salvage. Now, we haven't seen any buy stations either, but I would be willing to bet that everything is just points now. They've simplified it to points, which I kind of like. I didn't mind the salvage, but I think it makes it a little bit simpler and a little bit cleaner loot drops, that is anyway. But it makes you wonder, what's on those loot drops anyway? If not salvage, what's going to be in there? Maybe points? Speaking of points, the point system appears to be just like Outbreak, where it's basically Cold War's point system, but each kill is only worth like 25 or 35 points. This is kind of annoying to me because I feel like that's just so slow of a point system, but hopefully with the increase in zombies that we're seeing here, hopefully, and more events and stuff to do and quests and stuff to do, you're going to get your points more constantly than we did in Outbreak. And also worth noting, zombies throughout all of this gameplay never showed up as red dots on the minimap, which I just find ironic. Now in this clip, you can see there are actually 7 exfil sites, 4 of them blue, 3 of them red. Now red exfils, as we find out later, are going to be for story missions, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. This first clip, we're in a 6-man squad. 2 seconds into the clip, we can see a building with these yellow flags. These denote strongholds in DMZ or Warzone, but as we can see, there are a few mimics on the roof. So this is a stronghold with a zombie twist. This isn't a contract, this is just a thing in the map that you can interact with, and we will see them interact with it in a different gameplay. We can see there are health bars, but there are also no damage number indicators. You can see these players really just get wiped there. You can see they're in the high threat level tier 3 area and they just get wiped, but this player decides to go to this anomaly type portal thing, jump into it, and just like Outbreak, it launches you straight up into the air, and you can see there's essence canisters that you can get up there. That's really cool. In the second clip, again, look at how many zombies there are, and of course they get taken out by that vehicle. And this is when we get to see what a stronghold actually looks like. These are those cysts that we saw in the trailer. We need to destroy those. We need a gas mask to go into it. I don't know if this is how all strongholds are going to be, but it looks like that's what they're going to be. It cuts really early. We don't get to see what reward it gives you or why you would want to do this, but I'm sure they're going to give us multiple rewards and stuff. Now this clip, oh my goodness, this clip, there's so much here. First of all, this pause screen is incredible. You can see faction missions just like DMZ, which increases the replayability so much. You can see your teammates' missions just like DMZ. You can see on the legend on the right hand side, there's a bunch of icons, most notably Aether Storm, Pack-a-Punch, Fortress, Strongholds, Encampments, and Aether Nests, all of which we see, or most of which we see in this gameplay. These areas though, these areas are different than the contracts that we see on the TAC map too. The TAC map has like 5 or 6 unique contracts that you can pick up, which we see the player eventually do in this clip. But just look at how much stuff there is to do on this map, how condensed it is. This is what was missing from Outbreak. You had to run forever in Outbreak, and there's only ever like 3 side quests, and maybe you would find a smaller one across the map. There's so much stuff to do, all connected and close by right here. Anyway, we jump off the roof. We see the new power up drop icon in the center of our screen. It has like an electric twist, almost reminds me of Advanced Warfare zombies. And something that's weird that I'll mention later, perks don't seem to be working right now. PhD doesn't explode when he lands. It's very weird. But also I want to point out, look at the time that they have left in the map. It's clearly way more than 60 seconds. Now this is clearly like some developer build, but this gives me hope that if we're playing this mode and we really like this mode, but we just want a little bit more time to explore this map, I'm hopefully positive, hopeful that Treyarch can increase that time to 90 minutes, 2 hours or something so that we can fully explore to our heart's content. But it is important to remember, extracting and going back into the mode is part of the gameplay loop. This short little clip here, we see the Casimir mechanism coming back. That's pretty cool. Next clip, we see the Tesla Storm and the new wand that they say. This is okay, but it looks like it's just going to be a color switch for all the other field upgrades, which is okay, but I mean, who would have guessed I would have missed something from Vanguard zombies? I mean, I missed that art style. Throughout the gameplay, we can see zombies have a 1, 2, or 3 next to their nameplate, which denotes how strong they are. We see a Jackrabbit medal pop up, and we get some more Wonder Weapon gameplay, which looks really good. Now here we get to some fun stuff. We are at World Tier 3, and we are driving a cargo truck. We actually have a mission, a contract, to deliver the cargo to the HLT. You can see it's going to be worth 2,000 points once we get there. And look at how drastically different this part of the map is compared to the other ones. This has that heavy orange, like almost Hellfire look to it. This doesn't look like normal DMZ or Warzone. This looks like they made this tone and this atmosphere just for zombies. We can see this gun, I believe it's the Holger at Tier 3 Pack-a-Punch. You can see Deadwire get activated, and I want you to listen to this Frostblast activation. I think it's pretty cool. Moving on to this next clip. Again, the atmosphere has changed. Same map, but it's a different atmosphere. Now, this is definitely a pre-release version, but as Miniman has pointed out on my Discord, this death perception perk just doesn't seem to be working right now. Juggernog is working because you definitely have 250 health points right now, but what these perks do, how they interact with it, I don't know, it feels like very weird. That PhD Deadshot looked like Hipfire didn't give it to you. I don't know, perks are weird right now. This next clip, we see the mystery box bunny actually moving. This could be very tedious. I wonder how this is going to work. I don't quite know, but that kind of makes me nervous. We also have this enemy, which he's called Elite, but I don't know. He goes down really quickly, so I don't know if that's supposed to be something more. I don't know. Now, this first clip I saw and I was like, oh, cool, the death machine, but I was wrong. This is the Juggernaut suit. Now we're in World Tier 3, and you can see this Juggernaut actually has a time limit, or it might be an ammo limit, but you can see on the bottom right, his time is winding down, which is a really good balance for zombies, honestly, but look at how much damage this death machine is doing in World Tier 3. We've seen some World Tier 3 gameplay before, and those zombies look really meaty, but this death machine's taking them out. And again, it's another big horde of zombies. We see they're fighting this mega abomination here, which is insane, and something about this entire gameplay is that sometimes these people don't play the map like normal people would play the map. This guy has a clear shot. He's like, the mega abomination's distracted, just aim down your sights and you can definitely kill him. But no, he's hip firing with like the worst hip fire you could have in zombies right now. But then at the end, we see just a little glimpse of him exploding, and it looks pretty cool. This next clip, we have an eliminate the bounty contract, which is we need to locate the disciple and kill it for 3,000 points. Nothing else too crazy in this clip. We could see there's light armored zombies and heavy armored zombies with their nameplates and stuff. This next clip, we are ziplining across this lake. Again, look at the atmosphere changes from these maps. It's crazy. We could see the red/purple mist. This is where the circle originates, I imagine. But inside this circle, all of these zombies must have bigger health and do a lot more damage. Even though, again, I think this is some weird beta thing because we clearly see and hear this person get hit by zombies, but their health not go down and their armor not go down. So I don't know. This is just a weird version. Sometimes there's weird quirks about this, so I apologize if I'm reading too much into something or not enough into something else. This next clip, we have the contract of disabling Aether extractors, 5 of them within a certain amount of time. And then once they complete it, it says a reward rift has spawned. So what in the world is a reward rift? I bet you it's just like a little thing where you get rewards popping out of it, and it's just like an in-universe explanation of why you randomly get these like high-value items. This clip is cool. We could see a mortar strike being used. We could see this text reads First Blood. In Russian, it says First Blood. I don't know the relevance of that, but hey, that's cool. The focus of this one, though, is the Pack-a-Punch machine. You can see it says Pack-a-Punch level 2, increased damage and ammo capacity. Now, I don't think this actually increases the ammo capacity. After Pack-a-Punching it, this guy only has 600 before he had 577. So I think it's just that initial Pack-a-Punch that increases your ammo capacity. But once they Pack-a-Punch their weapon, it says max level Pack-a-Punch reached in zone. Travel to higher threat zones for higher levels. This is cool. It means you can't just sit in that tier 1 one area and just farm the easy zombies and get points and get geared up without a challenge. If you want to do more damage, you need to go deeper into the world. Also, the second tier only costs 10,000 points, and it doesn't appear to have a menu or a place to pick an ammo mod. So maybe ammo mods just need to be found within the map itself? Or maybe this is just a beta version of the Pack-a-Punch. I don't know. And here's that glamour shot of that Pack-a-Punch level too. That looks pretty cool. Here we can see them take down a convoy of AI bots, and they actually get rewarded for this. There's an activity complete that says convoy cleared, and you get to see a lot of really good infighting between the AI and the zombies here. Really cool. In this clip, we have an escort mission, very similar to the escort that we got in Outbreak 1.0, but you can see we can actually jump on top of this escort, which I've always wanted to do in that original escort. You can see a full power here. We can actually see a full armor later in the clip, and there's a mangler here too, which is our first in-game shot of a mangler, I think. Nothing too much. It's going to go up to this portal and either destroy it or suck it up or do something to it. And then at the end, it's going to do the typical Outbreak thing, and it is going to launch a rocket into the air, just like Outbreak. I have no idea what ACV stands for, so I'm going to guess it stands for Aether Containment Vehicle. Anomaly Containment Vehicle? Also, we see Elemental Pop's icon. I don't think Elemental Pop is in the game, but the icon is definitely there. Now in this clip, we're infiltrating an AI outpost, but listen here. You can hear the Outbreak loot crate beeping in its little tune. I just thought that was neat. And yes, field upgrades work against AI soldiers too. Brutal. Here we see more AI soldiers, but more importantly, it looks like there are bots accompanying us, helping us, which is interesting. We see someone do a finishing move on a soldier, but you're supposedly going to be able to do this for zombies too, like actual zombies, which I don't know, I might be down for that. This little clip, there's nothing too much that we haven't already pointed out. I just want to point out that, again, it's a huge mob of zombies. And like, these clips are so weird to me because they're clipped together where the zombie hordes are already there. So I don't know if they're like behind the scenes gathering all the zombies in the place and then gathering them in one place so that it looks like it's a lot of zombies. We'll just have to see when we play it for ourselves. Like at the start of this clip, there's a lot of zombies here, and with even more AI friendlies, it looks like. And this clip, we actually get a decent hearing of what the announcer is. It's very quiet. Listen to this. Super quiet. This is totally a pre-release build. I bet you the audio is weird when you really listen to these clips, so I bet you that's going to be touched up. But here is where we learn about the red exfils. Look, we're approaching a red exfil here in threat level 1, by the way, and the prompt says exfil to neutralizer test site. A neutralizer we saw back in Cold War in the second Outbreak Easter egg, as well as in Forsaken's Easter egg. They built neutralizers that neutralized the Dark Aether. And then at the bottom it says story quests will take you to a new location. This is that individual squad location that was talked about when Modern Warfare Zombies was first announced. This, to me, screams like the main quest. This screams to me like this is going to be the main story quest of this map. They also said that there are 3 acts of Modern Warfare Zombies. I bet you anything this is where you go into these specific quests. Now, in DMZ, I believe you had to rank up your factions and get to those specific quests by completing other faction missions. And if that's anything like Modern Warfare Zombies is going to be, which it really looks like it's going to be, you're going to need to complete your faction missions in order to unlock the story quests so that you can complete the story quests with your squad. That's just what makes the most sense to me. But I do like that this is in threat level 1 because that means you can get geared up, go on a hero run, get all of your armor and Pack-a-Punch tier 3 and all of your perks, and then you can just spawn in tier 1, drink all your perks, get your wonder weapons, get your Pack-a-Punch stuff, go into the story mode right away with your squad. And I believe it is just your squad, it's no one else. And if you're gonna queue in solo, I bet you can go into this story quest solo. And in this final clip, we have an Outlast contract. We need to activate the PND. Now, we actually don't get to see them activate a PND, but look at this atmosphere. We get the Ethereum crystals and we get these runes on the bathroom wall right here. We've never seen these symbols before. I bet you this is going to be some type of language or cool thing like from the Dark Aether. I don't know. That might be copium. I don't know. You can see the purple mist on the ground, but we don't have gas masks, and some player activates something. And of course, this is going to be kind of like our lockdown objective where we need to survive in this exact location. Outside of all the gameplay, the only thing I can think of that we haven't covered is the fact that mastery camos have been leaked. I'm not going to show you them here for obvious reasons. Plus they may change like Vanguard's did. We've learned our lesson. Though I did hear Noah said that there are mastery camos specific to zombies, and that includes all of the Modern Warfare 2 2022 weapons as well. That is going to be a huge camo grind that we've never seen before. Let's just just hope it's not as tedious as Vanguard's. I do really hope it's like Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer camo grind, easier challenges, shorter weapon levels, but make us reuse the gold guns to unlock the higher camos and then give us a charm and calling cards to go after using those camos or while using those camos. That's just the best camo grind that we've had so far in Call of Duty in my opinion. I told you it would be a lot of stuff to cover. If you're excited about zombies and don't want to stop hearing me rant about zombies, well then check out this video and stay beautiful.